Tonight, America's preparing to inflict more pain on the Taliban.
If you're the Taliban, conditions have been worsening, and they're about to get worse.
America's top diplomat on all 5 major Sunday morning shows defending Trump's plan to host the Taliban and the Afghan government at Camp David just days before the 9/11 anniversary.
It was a useful effort to try and get all of those parties in one place so that we could have serious conversations about how to reduce America's risk.
Last night, the president dramatically called off the meeting after the Taliban admitted to a car bombing in Kabul that killed Army First Class Sergeant Ellis Barretto, the 16th U.S. combat death this year in Afghanistan. How many more decades are they willing to fight, the president tweeted. But the U.S. has also been hammering the Taliban, which harbored al-Qaeda.
In the last 10 days, we've killed over 1,000 Taliban.
The plan to host Taliban leaders at Camp David angered some Republicans. No member of the Taliban should set foot there, ever, tweeted Representative Liz Cheney, and Democrats.
You don't treat this like some kind of game show when you're dealing with terrorists.
Just last week, the president claimed he could win the war in Afghanistan in a week, but at a tremendous cost to life.
If I'm willing to kill 10 million people in the course of a week or two, we could win that thing very quickly.
Though the peace talks appear over, Mr. Trump has a history of restarting negotiations after calling them off.
Trump is a risk taker in that respect, and I think you can make a case that these risks are worth taking.
And Hans is with us. What's the status of the 14,000 U.S. troops still serving in Afghanistan then?
Well, the president has announced that he wants to bring that number down to 8,600, but that was as part of a peace deal. But today, that decision is being reviewed, and Mr. Pompeo seemed intentionally ambiguous about how many troops would remain. Now, meanwhile, a spokesperson for the Taliban says that they will continue to fight to put an end to the total occupation of Afghanistan.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.